Okay, so now that we have looked at the importance of having fonts for all the text that's going to be on the website, not the logotype, but the website, that it's important that we have a lot of different weights, that we have big families, and that also for paragraph text we need condensed fonts, right? Now, before you start putting down all of the text on your website, it's a very, very good idea to actually determine what the site styles are going to be, so that every time you drag a piece of text, it's going to be exactly what you are looking for. So if we go here to this little A with the droplet, and then we go to customize, we have the colors, but don't worry about that for now. Let's just look at the text. We have all of these different types of headings and all of these different types of paragraphs that we can actually style. And then every time you drag a piece of text from here, it will always come in that same style. Now, I already have a piece of text here, and the reason why I have that is because there are certain things that you need to be aware of outside of just what the font is. There are other variables as well, and we're going to look at those before we actually do the styles. So if I go to edit text, now I have Roboto here, which is not a condensed font, so this is not going to be very good. But I already have a lot of fonts uploaded here, and you will be uploading your own and paying attention to that, to this condensed thing. So I have Fira condensed here, so I want to change this to Fira condensed, and I want my paragraph text to be a little bit bigger than this, so 20. But then I also need to go here, so this will be closed by default when you open it. You just open this up, and the character spacing right now is 0.02, which is actually a pretty good value, but you can change that. You can make that wider if you want to, or you can make it narrower if you want to, but I'm just going to stay with 0.02 because that's actually a pretty good value. And also be very careful when you are changing this here, because Wix has this very nasty habit of deleting this dot here, and that gets you into a whole load of trouble. And then we come to the line spacing. Now, in its default state, look, it deleted the dot as you saw. This will be 1.4. This is how Wix will usually have it. And also, incidentally, the default font that Wix will give you these days, it has changed. It used to be Proxima Nova, but nowadays it's Helvetica, thank God. So you should be aware of that. It'll all be Helvetica. So the line spacing is 1.4. Now I can increase that, and I can make the space between the lines much wider, and I can also make it much narrower until it actually, as you can see, it overlaps. But I usually like to make it just a little bit more than 1.4. I like to make it 1.5, and incidentally this value here is the M value in the CSS coding language. Okay, so this is what you need to look at. You need to change the font to a condensed font if you're going to be modifying a paragraph text, and you need to look again. Let me just go back here to remind you. You need to figure out what your character spacing is going to be, and you need to figure out what your line spacing is going to be. Now let's go back to here, customize text. So the first one here is Roboto condensed, which obviously is not going to be terribly helpful. We had Fira, and we had Fira regular. Okay, and the font size we made a little bit bigger. We made it 22. Let me just do this with the keyboard. And then we have the character and line spacing here as well, and our character spacing was -0.02, and our line spacing was, and again the dot disappeared. We need to be careful with that, and we say apply. So basically what this is going to do now is every time you add a paragraph, it's going to be in this value. Okay? Now, this is just, I just did one, but what you can do, again, let's go to text. You can change all of these, and you should in fact change all of these to your values. So the heading, for example, this, and again, before you do that, before you do it here, you should experiment by just adding a heading, and let's just put this over here. Does this look nice with that? Well, no, not really. I mean, this is a different font from this, so let's just make this Fira, but semi-bold. And then what we would need to do here is these letters are coming in very close to each other, so we would probably need to open this up, but let's just look at it like this. Let's see how this looks. Yeah, now the spacing looks okay. With a heading, we don't really need to worry too much about line space. So anyway, so that's the value that we decided on for the heading. So again, go to text here, Fira, we made it semi-bold. I think we kept the font size at 60. The character spacing we increased, sorry, and the line spacing is 1.4 here again. So apply, and then when we now take a heading, it will always appear in that style. And if you do this work, which looks a little bit like busy work, before you start working on your site, you will be very, very happy afterwards while you are working on your site, because it will save you a tremendous amount of time. Okay, see you later.